Hello fellow detectorists, yes, I'm back out again. Now, we're on permission number 1, and if you can spot it straight away like I did as I drove around the corner on the road and saw the fields from a distance, all 3 of the main fields here on permission number 1 have been, what I thought at first had been ploughed, but they haven't. They've just been deep raked. But these were the problem fields for the farmer, if you remember earlier on. Apparently he did grow rape in these fields, but it never took. He told me that it was some beetle or something or other that devastated it, and they've sat here doing nothing ever since. He told me he was going to plough them and sow them with a crop after Christmas. Well, he's eventually done something with them, but they have only been deep raked, which is a bit disappointing, but well, you got to take what you're given, I suppose. But anyway, we're out on the fields. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. I've walked actually across half of this field and not had a single target, which is not looking good at the moment. But I've just had a target here. I'm using the X35 coil. It is the 21st of March. It's 9:10 in the morning. It's my usual Saturday, as most of the country shuts down because of this bloomin' virus. I will continue as long as I can to come out onto the fields and try and do videos and carry on detecting as much as I can. But like I say, we'll see how we get on here today. I've just had a target here. It's my first target today. It's quite interesting, so I thought I'd show it. It does look quite old. And it has got a bit of pattern on it. I wonder whether this could be something fairly special. It's that look, and it has got a bit of decoration on it as well, so I should imagine, and it's quite thick, I should imagine it was probably of some importance at one point. I don't think that's a strap end. It's a bit too thick for a strap end. It could be the end of a Saxon strap end, but it looks like it's snapped off of something else. And there's a bit of decoration on here as well. So that's find number 1. Anyway, we'll carry on. I'll have to experiment a bit today on this sort of ground with the X35 coil in coin fast and in coin deep. But like I say, we'll carry on and we'll see what the next target is. That's find number 1. Bye for now. Here we go, folks, we've got our next find. Now, as you can see, I've come back onto this adjoining field, which I came onto last weekend. I spent a bit of time on last weekend, because that deep raked field I just walked across over, I was getting hardly any targets at all, and it was making the machine very glitchy. It's a subject actually I've been wanting to talk about for some time. I'm not going to go into it right now, but every detector I've had has always struggled on that loose type surface, especially when a field has been deep raked. But anyway, I've come on here now purely just because it's easier detecting. I've just had another find down here, and it is this. Now at first I thought it was like a small little crotal bell, but I think all this is a broken or a very worn keyhole escutcheon. You know, these sort of things that slide up like that just to protect a keyhole. I think that's all that is, but if you know better then please correct me, but I think that's all that is. But that gave me top 70s, low 80s, that did. Anyway, we'll carry on. The detecting should be a lot easier on this field. I'll see what I find. Like I say, I've had trouble on this field before, not finding a lot, but we'll give it a go on here, and then I might go back onto the deep raked fields for the rest of the afternoon until I go home, but we'll see. Here we go, folks. I just had another target down here, and what I saw first, again, it's another one of these situations. What I saw first was this edge here. You know what I'm going to say, it does look like a hammered coin. That's brilliant. Now we'll uncover this one together. This doesn't look like a cut half this time. That's interesting. Can't see any detail on it at the moment. It is interesting. I think it's definitely a hammered coin, but it's almost perfectly smooth. Let me just give us a little clean up and I'll come back to you in a moment. But that's it, look. Like I say, I'll give it a spray and I'll have a closer look. Bye for now. Yes, here we go, folks. I've given it a light clean, but like I say, I thought I could see signs that there might have been a shield on the back of it or something like that. I'm getting the impression as though this might be one of the later hammered coins, like a Lizzie or something like that, but it has been polished smooth. I think it definitely is a hammered coin. It's that size, but it is very, very thin. Like I say, I thought I could see the sign of a shield on the back, but I don't know. Anyway, we'll carry on. That gave me the normal sort of 70s type figure on the display, like I usually get with a hammered coin. But we'll continue. That's great. Anyway, let's carry on. Hello folks, we're getting quite a good signal here. It's up in the 80s, low 80s, 80, 81. I thought I'd do a live dig, especially after that last little hammered coin. It's only just behind me. It's 85, 82. did have one of my viewers say to me on the last video, left a comment and said, could I put the speaker on my detector so you could hear some of the tones? Well, I thought I'd have a go at doing that in this video. As you can hear, that's quite a short, quite a nice loud, so 86 that time. It could be a bit of aluminium or a bit of lead, but we'll give it a go. Sounds like it might be out. Definitely out. Right. If that's all it is, it's just a resistor. I do pick up these in the fields from time to time. I don't know where they come from, but just a resistor off a bit of like off a circuit board or something like that. There you go, you see. It's just a resistor, like I say, off a bit of off of one of these circuit boards. I do find these from time to time, but that gave such a good signal. It's about, well, like you see, 85, 86. Anyway, we'll carry on. Now then folks, we've got a semi-live dig here. Just had a reasonable target and display figure on the screen. It came up about 70 something, so we'll try it from here. I've only just turned the soil out. It's not showing any figures now on the display. Coming up low, high 60s, low 70s, so we'll see what this is. It's a too good a figure really to ignore. Probably just a bit of aluminium. Or is it just a bit of lead? Yeah, it just looks like a little bit of lead that time. I will just go over the hole again just to make sure. But it's just a little bit of lead. Could be the remains of a small bullet. Yep, that's all it was. Here we go folks, just had another find and it is a coin. I could just see a bust on there. I think it's a Carolus. That's great. That's quite an old one. That's older than the Georges. Just make out a bust on there, look. That's brilliant. I can actually see more through the camera than I can on the actual coin. Lovely. Anyway, we'll carry on. Here we go folks, we've got ourselves another good target here, up in the 80s. It's giving me 82, 84, 86. So we'll give this a try. It's out. See what this is. Yes, I can see it. It's one of these small domed buttons. Not the hollow ones, the solid ones. Yes, there we are, look. You can see that there. It's just one of these solid domed buttons. A quite small one. Anyway, we'll carry on. Here we go, folks. Just had an interesting find here. You can see it's come from right next to my spade there. It gave me a really good signal. It was right close to the surface. I got a bit of a shock actually when I unearthed this, but I do believe I've got a bit of gold. It's only a very, very rough piece. It feels heavier than it should, if you know what I mean. I think that's a bit of gold. I can't see anything on it. It's only a fragment of maybe something larger, but I'll have a good scout around this area and see if I can't find anything else. But it literally came out of the ground like that. It wasn't tarnished or had any rust on it or anything like that, like you would expect from a small piece of ordinary metal. But I think that is a bit of gold. Anyway, let's carry on. I'll have a closer look around this spot. Bye for now. Hello folks, as you can see I've come back onto this harrowed field and it is hard going, believe it or not, but I just walked the whole length of this and didn't get a single target. I had a couple of targets at the bottom here, one which I think, I didn't video it just now, but I think it was just a squashed musket ball, and I've just had a target here before I go onto the field, the other side of the road. Again, it's a harrowed field, but this target I've had just here is this, and it's part of a pewter spoon, and you can see some hallmarks on the back of that there. Look, on the other side it's got quite a nice pattern, a scallop shell sort of pattern, so that's quite nice. It's only a fragment, I know, but that's part of a pewter spoon or fork. But anyway, I've got a couple of hours left, so I thought I'd give it a go on my old, what I call my old Roman field. But like I say, I don't think I'm going to find much, because going over this dry, harrowed field, I'm just not finding much at all. It needs to be rolled really, and make it nice and smooth. Anyway, we'll carry on for now. Here we go, folks. We've got ourselves another little find here, and it is difficult on this rough surface. Not just hard work, but it's difficult for the detector as well. I think I'm only picking up stuff that's literally on the surface. So anyway, this is what I just got. I think it's either a little book clasp or a clog clasp, something like that. It's got that bit on the end. So what this is, I'm not sure. But it's another find. It's difficult, like I say, difficult on this field, so I'm pleased with anything I get on here at the moment. Hopefully they will seed this field, and I don't think it's been seeded yet. They will seed this field and roll it, and once they've done that, it'll be a lot easier to come over. But that's that. Anyway, we'll carry on. I'll try my best. Bye for now. Here we go, folks. We've got ourselves another little target, and it's like I think a little lead bag seal. That's it. Anyway, what I'm doing at the moment is I'm in Coin Deep program, and I've just turned everything down, not down lower than the factory settings or the standard default program settings, is where I'm leaving it. You turn up anything too high with Coin Deep on this surface, on this field, and it's just, you can't detect. It's just too twitchy, too sensitive. So what I've done, I put it in Coin Deep because I'm going literally over the top of these clods, trying to get to as close to the ground as I can, but I've backed the sensitivity down to about 90. Discrimination is on about 7, and I'm still on 17 kilohertz, but I'm trying that on Coin Deep, and I am getting a couple of finds. So I'll continue like this for now and just see if it works. It really is working, and then I'll know for next time. But anyway, see what the next one is. Bye for now. Here we go, folks. Got our next one, and every now and again I turn up a little lead toy, and I've got another one today, and it's what's left of a cow, believe it or not. You can see the tail on the back here, and what's left of the back legs. You can see the udders underneath there, and there's some writing on this one, and I can make it out. It says copyright Britain's Limited, made in England. How about that? Now, they don't normally, so obviously this isn't that old. How it's got here in the middle of the field, God knows. I should imagine the farmer's family or something like that was in the middle of the field here at some time with children, and these little lead toys end up in the fields. But I found a few on this field, actually. It's the field I call my Roman field. Obviously that's not Roman. But that says copyright Britain's Limited, made in England. So how about that? So what's left of a cow. I've had various animals. I might find the front end of it in a minute, but that's obviously been ripped apart by the plough. Pity it wasn't in one piece. Anyway, we'll see what the next one is. Here we go, folks. We've got our next find, and this is quite interesting because it's basically one of these large roofing nails, but they have on them these is it going to focus? They have on them these lead washers. Can you see that on there? Now I think this is fairly modern by design, but this is all it is. It's like a roof, like a large roofing nail, and I think they used to use them like this fairly recently, 1900s I think, and probably still do today, with these lead washers. And basically the lead washer just water seals it if you're sort of knocking in corrugated iron or roofing sheets or something like that. I often find these sort of round washers in the field and think, oh, you know, oh, what's that? Is that something older? Well, maybe it isn't. It could be something fairly sort of modern. I just thought that'd be worth showing that. Some people might think, oh yeah, that thing I found the other day could be one of those roofing washers. Anyway, it gave quite a good signal, so of course I dug it. But we'll carry on. Here we go, folks. Our next find is what's left of a thimble. It's a bit broken. I don't think it's particularly that old. It looks like it's a machine made one. Anyway, we'll carry on. I'm almost back to the car now, so with a bit of luck, when I come back here next weekend, they would have rolled and probably seeded these fields, and it might be a lot smoother and a bit more compact. I am getting targets using coin deep, as you can see by this thimble, and the last 2 or 3 targets I've had actually come off these fields. Anyway, I'll carry on for the moment. We'll see what else we get.